Welcome to another episode, Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs. This is our season 2. Entrepreneurs such as Levey.
How do you do?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine.
Nice being here.
You are a business consultant, and there are a lot of business consultants. What makes you different?
You know, and when I went into this business, I looked at that, so what can make me different? And the big thing about it is having been in business for many years, doing a lot of things on my own, other companies, I look back and what would have helped me at that time in my business, and came up with the concept of personalized business consulting.
Okay.
There's a lot of books that are out there.
Sure.
There's a lot of pamphlets.
Sure.
There's a lot of, take my 47 and a half steps and you'll become a millionaire.
47 and a half. I like
half. I mean, you got to make it a little different. I told you I was different. So there's no magic wand. And every business owner is different. Even though the business might be the same, every business owner is different. Every business's stage is different. Their desire as to where they want to go and what they want to do, what they want out of it is different. The communications to them are different. So it's truly personalized. I don't do group therapy sessions where people come in, I've got this business, we're all going to sit down, we're all going to make improvements on our business together. It's one-on-one, very personalized, very dedicated to where they want to go and how they want to do it. I come with some ideas.
The type of business that you consult, is it a small, medium, is it large? Is it in the early stages, medium stages, advanced, mature business that are looking to expand? What type, where do you like to be? What kind of playground do you like to be?
Sure. So my sweet spot is the small business.
Okay.
The small business, typically, that has been in business a couple years.
All right.
Typically, I find someone
that's a critical time.
It is.
That is an incredibly critical time right there.
And the business that's starting usually is won by somebody that has done what they've done before, and I can do a better job, and I can be my own guy, make my own hours, become a millionaire overnight, and things like that. They usually think they also know everything. So at the know everything stage is not the point that I can help somebody, because once they start making mistakes, and once they start growing a little bit, now it's like, oh gosh, what do I do here?
Let's call Bud.
So my whole thing is, when I talk with people, I do a lot of network marketing and referral partners and things like that. And people will say, so how do I recognize somebody that can, where you can help them? And my response to that is they're complaining. Now they're complaining about anything. It could be, I can't grow my business, I can't keep employees, I'm having trouble training them, I'm having trouble finding them, I'm growing too fast. And I don't know how to separate things and manage. So whatever, but they're complaining. Once they're complaining, they typically need help. And that's where I come in.
What makes you a good coach, and to be able to realize that you see somebody in pain, right? You see somebody that is growing, and you hear the complaints, essentially. Mm-hmm. But what makes you look at this mess, essentially, that the owner is not looking at, and be able to help that individual, to put the pieces together in such a way that that business can move forward?
Sure. Well, usually those owners, they're working pretty hard in their business. And maybe they've heard about, I should work on my business, but they do what they do because I've always loved doing that. And it always keeps drawing them back into the business. So I'm the painter, I'm the tile layer, I'm the this, I'm the whatever it is. And it doesn't have to just be the trades. I've got one client that's out of state that is an extremely high level engineer, but he's a solopreneur.
Okay.
Because he's Superman. Like so many other of these entrepreneurs, I'm Superman. I can do everything myself.
Yep.
I don't need anybody.
Right.
Well, guess what? You're only going to go so far with that attitude. So I basically go in and find out, where their issues are. Like my tagline says, guiding you over your business hurdles. You tell me what your hurdle is. What is the biggest thing that is preventing you from growing, from getting where you want to go? I'll help you over the hurdle. But what I do is, so what have you tried? What hasn't worked for you? What do you think might? Why do you think it's not? Let's talk about how do we get over that, not how do we do this thing. We're talking about the business. We're working on the business. Where do you want to go with this? How far do you want to go? Someone might want to be a multimillionaire and have turned it into a franchise, and others, no, I don't want that. I just want to go so far. So I help them go where they want to go one step at a time and showing them how it can be on the other end. Do you want to go, you want to end up being an absentee owner after 20 years? Someone might say, yeah. The other one might say, no, I don't want that. I'm going to work in this the rest of my life. Really? So you're down, doing carpet and your knees are going out and you're going to work in it?
How long, this is about your entrepreneurial journey, but how long have you been doing this?
It seems like I've been doing this my whole life. It's real interesting because I had my own business for 18 years.
What kind of business
from
was it?
Scratch. It was an electronic and computer business that started in one area and ended up after 18 years being completely different. And it wasn't that we had any plan. It just happened.
It just happened.
But we had our eyes open. I say we, I brought in a business partner. So it was looking at opportunities to decide, do we want to move in those directions? And I think we did some smart things. And it didn't grow overnight. It took a long time. But the thing is, at that point, and my background's engineering, so I went through that, and my family is entrepreneurial, so I was never afraid of
Right.
being an entrepreneur. And so going through that whole process, people started coming to us. Well, how do you do this and how do you do that? So next thing I know, I'm mentoring them to some degree. It's like, there's no secrets. There's no magic wand here. There's plenty of room for everybody. So then I started doing that until I finally got a big change in my life and evaluated 3 years ago, what do I want to do when I grow up? And didn't have to do with money. It was just, what do I want to do? And I came back to the consulting, the mentorship,
yeah.
whatever. And it's like, that really, turns me on.
No, and it's fine that you're saying that, because a lot of us that may have gone through a number of years of business, we do acquire some kind of knowledge and some acumen, life experiences, business experiences, that if we share with those who are coming right behind us, I think that is incredibly valuable. And I think that in your travels, in your journey, that is exactly what you're doing, right? I mean, you're taking from what you had, the experiences that you had, and now you put it into a business, and you consult for those
Absolutely,
businesses.
absolutely. I tell my clients, I said, there's nothing new out there.
There really isn't.
So I don't invent the wheel.
Technology may change, but it's
I don't invent the wheel. I just try to bring you the right wheel.
Right. Cool.
So, and then you decide as to whether that's a fit for you and you want to go that way, and I'll give you the pros and cons of doing that.
What is the hardest part of now you're your own consultant, you have your own business? What is the hardest part for you right now? I mean,
Yeah.
if you have to analyze your own business. If you
Right. Oh, for my own business.
Yeah, for your own business.
My hardest part, the hardest part for my own business is basically finding people that really realize that they need a little help. Because you still have got the people, I can do that. I can do this, I can do that, I can do everything. Well, it's just sitting down, the number of people that I can sit down with and talk with and get them to see the light is real high. And then, because I make it real easy for them to start with me, because it's not about the money as far as I'm concerned. So I make it real easy. The entry point is real inexpensive, and I want to show them value every time we sit down. And if we don't, we can stop.
You're pointing to something that At some point in time, I think I'm going to start, and maybe you and I start this Entrepreneurs Anonymous. I think we'll just go over there and hi, my name is Francisco, and yes, I'm an entrepreneur anonymous, and I have these problems, and I just don't want to admit that I have these problems.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's the solution,
Exactly.
brother.
Exactly. That's good.
Where are you going to take your business, bud?
So in 2 years, I want to be the accountability partner for my past clients.
I like that.
So
Very nice.
we're traveling and things that I can do while I'm traveling, but people need an accountability partner. So someone has helped them, and hopefully I'm the one that's helped them, and I know what their plan, their desires, and everything else are. So now, here's the next step. Here's what you say you're going to do. I'm going to give you a call and find out. So why didn't you get there this week? Because usually they don't. But that's what it is.
I had an accountability partner for my nutrition. I purposely lost her number. Believe me, the wheels just came off. So
I understand.
I'm on the road, but I do need an accountability partner at some point. So you're into something,
Right.
good, bud.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's all good.
Appreciate it.
With that, we're out.